I would like everyone here to close your eyes and imagine Australia. Its jewel seas, sapphire misted mountains, and breathtaking skylines. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of seasonal yield, boundless innovation, and knowledge that spans generations and across the globe. You may now open your eyes. This is the Australia we know, home of the Australian spirit of people like you and me. Hi, I'm Amy Shao.
I'm Anya Wynn.
And I'm Rishabh Prasad.
And we are Enactus UNSW.
Have you ever lent a helping hand at your local Clean Up Australia Day or volunteered at a charity event? Perhaps you've shown your support for Australians going through tough times during recent bushfires and floods. Every one of us here embodies the Australian spirit that values community and connection. Together, we embody the spirit of Enactus. Australia prides itself in its food security, access to fresh produce, and quality education. Being Australian is the gift that keeps on giving, and at Enactus UNSW, it became our mission to give back. In the past year, our 6 social enterprises have been giving back in their own ways, and today, we are excited to share 2 of those journeys with you. Fortunate Food Co., empowering the next generation to fight the war on food waste, and the African STEM Education Initiative, combating the lack of STEM educational resources in Uganda.
Australia, the lucky country, the home of the fresh food people. We pride ourselves on being one of the most food-secure nations in the world, but today we throw away 7.6 million tons of food a year. Here in New South Wales, we are responsible for almost a quarter of this, and what's more, 70% of all this is edible. That's 6.8 million tons of carbon dioxide entering our environment, which is without a doubt extremely destructive. With this statistic in mind, Fortunate Food Co. was created. Our solution was to reduce food waste by rescuing off-spec produce like tomatoes thrown away based on appearance and transforming them into jars of chutney. This is achieved through 3 key milestones: advancing our community and organizational partnerships, expanding our product line, and piloting our volunteer network.
This year, FFC took innovative steps forward by partnering with the Country Women's Association Manly Branch, a prestigious organization consisting of 70 inspirational and passionate women who leverage their skills in jam making, textiles, and business to advocate for those experiencing hardships in regional New South Wales. With CWA's expertise, FFC has been able to grow its production capacity by holding more cooking days and market sales to a wider customer base. This enabled us to expand upon our flagship product, the tomato chutney, with 2 new products, a caramelized onion and a zero-waste marmalade that uses all elements of the fruit. These products are made from produce rescued by organizations like Second Bite and Food Bank at Our Big Kitchen, a not-for-profit community kitchen based in Bondi. Together, CWA and OBK's expertise and qualifications have equipped us with skills in food safety and preservation that we would have otherwise outsourced. Currently, our products are priced at $7.50, with our only cost being the purchase of jars and lids at 85 cents. One of our notable events was assisting CWA run their high tea event for International Women's Day this year. This event was a success where we raised a massive $4,500 from selling jars and tickets. 80% of our funds are donated towards CWA's disaster relief initiatives for families impacted by the floods, fires, and COVID-19. The remainder reinvested into FFC.
The success of this event helped us realize an opportunity to spread our impact. While we were targeting commercial food waste coming from our supermarkets and our farmers, we were neglecting the 2.5 million tons coming straight from our homes. It really makes you think about that tomato you perhaps threw out last night because it was blemished or had an unappetizing spot. We needed to do more. Our unique solution is to take what we have been doing one step further by changing the way individuals perceive waste and inspiring, educating, and uniting them to realize the solutions right in front of us. And so inspired our volunteer initiative, which we will pilot in late July with around 20 volunteers. So what are the benefits? Over 1 month, members will engage in weekly cooking days. They will champion UN Sustainable Development Goals of responsible consumption and production and climate action. They will gain culinary and technical skills fostered by our online food safety modules and cooking workshops that are beneficial to their personal and professional lives. This is to be concluded with a market sale to sell the fruits of our labour and raise awareness of our impact within the community. In a year's time, we will impact over 500 individuals to rethink their consumption.
We are integrating our volunteer program into university courses, leveraging the communities we have built within our student community. Currently, we are engaging commerce students through the UNSW MyBecom platform and a business school major, with plans to expand into other disciplines as well. Fortunate Food Co. will remain within universities with a vision to expand across Sydney. To ensure a sustainable business model, we are currently seeking out other suppliers and community kitchens, as we know that we cannot rely on OBK forever. At Fortunate Food Co., we embody the Enactus spirit because we see our waste as a resource. We embody the Australian spirit by uniting students and communities to create a stronger, more sustainable future. One jar at a time.
Now, before we tread any further, I want you all to imagine you're a student in Australia, where employment in STEM careers has grown by 20% over the past 5 years, twice as fast as all other jobs. And government organizations invest over $12 billion into science, innovation, and research every year. Knowing this, would you consider a career in STEM? With that in mind, I will now take you to a town 13,000 kilometers away in rural Uganda, where STEM isn't the norm. Your school's STEM curriculum isn't very engaging, and the resources needed to support any interest you do have are rarely available. Less than 1 in 4 university students pursue a STEM-related degree in Africa, despite it being a crucial field for socioeconomic growth. Because of this, these countries continue to outsource STEM talent from abroad, even though local youth unemployment rates are as high as 70%. So why the large number of local unemployed youth when the need for local STEM employment is so high? The answer begins in schools.
The African Institute of Mathematical Sciences and the African Development Bank have pinpointed the underlying issues to be 1, the lack of an engaging and relevant STEM curriculum, and 2, the scarcity of STEM educational resources. This is where ASI makes a difference. The African STEM Education Initiative, ASI, is a startup in Uganda that elevates student engagement in STEM, encouraging them to pursue a career in the field. This is achieved through ASI's Code program, an initiative that equips students with skills in coding languages, including Python, HTML, and JavaScript, through project-based learning. This helps them prepare for careers in fields like engineering and tech, in now increasingly digital economies. In 2020, ASI became our 6th social enterprise, which would expand our impact beyond Australia. So, what do? We empower students with resources and mentorship to advance STEM outreach in rural Uganda. We work closely with the ASI team to implement a community-based approach to better understand the issues surrounding STEM education. We are advancing the UN SDGs of reducing inequalities and driving quality education.
Talking with schools highlighted substantial student interest in coding, but at the same time, a lack of learning resources like laptops, projectors, and Arduino sets. To source this equipment needed to kickstart the code program, Enactus UNSW organized a crowdfunding campaign last July, where we successfully raised over $5,000. This strengthened the reach of the code program, and we are proud to announce that it is currently running in 3 schools in Fort Portal City, one of which is an all-girls school. Today, 256 students are exploring new and exciting ways of learning, paving promising pathways into the world of STEM. Irene and Lucy are 2 of these students, and let's now hear from them.
You have learned a lot of programming today, especially using the HTML language. Most people never knew about this, they only just knew about Microsoft. I'm sure that they will be inspired to become someone greater, for example, software engineer in the future. Thank you so much.
And this is what changed my mind also. The moment I started practicing it, so I was like, maybe I'm good in this field. So my career is looking towards that.
ASI is changing lives, but we cannot continue to empower more students like these without sufficient resources. So Enactus UNSW is collaborating with corporate partners like the Macquarie Group, tech enterprises in Uganda, and academic bodies to develop a sustainable model to procure and transport second-hand tech equipment to ASI. We have maximized the networks established through our Business Advisory Board to develop innovative business strategies to help the ASI team, and we will continue to do so.
From the very beginning up to now, the Enactus UNSW board members and its advisors have been very monumental to our progress. Through their guidance and mentorship, we've hit various key milestones.
We are actively leveraging the Enactus platform to accelerate ASI's impact. In March, we allocated a dedicated team of Enactus UNSW students to submit a proposal through the Action with Africa Challenge, organized by Enactus Global. Through this, ASI could receive up to $20,000 in funding to expand their impact to over 10 schools, impacting over 1,000 students in the coming year.
So I think that is all because of us, because if I wasn't there, I don't think I would have gotten this opportunity.
Thank you so much, guys. Love you.
Both FFC and ASI are giving back to our global communities and empowering our youth to become change makers. We capture the Enactus spirit by creating positive change. We capture the Australian vision for a stronger, more sustainable future.
Thank you.
Start the question and answer session. Only judges may ask questions. Excuse me.
Great presentation, all of you. I just wanted to ask you, what is your plans, or what are your plans to scale up the production of the food, the Fortunate Food?
Yeah, thank you for your question. So Fortunate Food Co.'s plan is to remain within universities and continue to grow our volunteer program, which we'll be piloting in late July, meaning that we want to onboard as many students as we can, and that is our sustainable strategy from here on then. I know we have competitors that are very large and corporate, but our mission is really just to empower our students to become advocates for the cause, and that's why we're remaining in unis. Thank you.
In front row.
Regarding your ASI project, have you given thought or your longer-term view of actually looking at, say, our Indigenous cultures in regional Australia who could potentially benefit from it, because that's an area that's low in the STEM?
Thank you for the question. That is definitely one of the first things we looked at once this opportunity came to us. We saw the need in our own country, and there's definitely a need in our own Aboriginal communities as well as other low socioeconomic communities. However, from research, we saw there are a number of existing initiatives already in place that assist these communities, implementing very similar programs. And these initiatives are sponsored and supported by organizations as large as ANZ Bank and Samsung. We do believe that there is more work to be done. However, we do not see a gap in the number of initiatives, which is why we thought Enactus, being a global organization, should invest its resources in Uganda. Thank you.
Third row.
Hi, great presentation. I just want to know where I can buy some of the chutney. In terms of consumers, have you got plans to sort of grow the awareness or grow the distribution?
Yeah, we actually do have a market store, so we are inviting everyone here to come along and purchase our products after this presentation. In terms of outreach, yeah, we are currently selling via market stores, and our current plan is to work on getting onto the e-commerce platform and hoping that we can reach more audiences and community members through that as well. Thank you.
Great presentation, thank you. I want to tell you, you're managing the food safety of the products that you're manufacturing.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So we are working, so currently we make our products in our big kitchen, which is a commercial kitchen. They are overseen by professional chefs, meaning that, and also everyone who undergoes our volunteer initiative, they do have to complete a food safety training module, which is called I'm Alert, and that's run by Environmental Health Australia. So we are ensuring that everyone who does enter our volunteer program is undergoing those checks. They're wearing hairnets, and yeah, I think we can guarantee the safety of that. Thank you.
Great job, UNSW. When you guys move on from UNSW, how will you sustain the program in Uganda?
Thank you for the question. So to clarify, the Ugandan project is a partnership between us and the African STEM Education Initiative. Our role is to provide support using our mentors, our networks, our connections, which remain within Enactus. So we have an existing team, as Anne mentioned, a dedicated team of students within our society who work towards providing this support to ASI. And these students, we continue recruiting on an annual basis. So these teams are self-sustaining, they grow every year, which accounts for students graduating and leaving as well.
Further to the ASI, what other costs are there in supporting this initiative?
So primarily at present, the code program is being piloted in Uganda, as I mentioned, and the cost of running this program is currently set at $25 for a quarterly basis, so 3 months for a single student. At the moment, the students don't pay this entire amount. It is heavily subsidized by donations and sponsors, so they end up paying $6 to $8. But these costs are primarily the operational costs of the team, providing internet access to schools that don't have it, providing electricity costs, transportation, etc. Moving forward into the future, the project ASI does have 2 other projects that are developing a solar cook stove and a water filtration system, which are products that will be consumables, that will be sold for revenue. So the revenues from these supporting projects will eventually subsidize further code program.
Judges,
thank you.
Please join me in thanking the University.